I am Dr. Santosh Kumar Biswal, an assistant professor with Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication, Symbiosis International Deemed University Pune. Today, I am going to discuss on various qualities of a reporter. Learning outcomes. We'll be able to understand the role and responsibilities of reporters in a newspaper. We'll be able to understand various speeds of reporting. We'll be able to understand skill set required for reporters in a newspaper. A reporter occupies a significant place in a newspaper and plays an important role. A newspaper is engaged in delivering information, education, and entertainment to its readers through reporters. He or she is equally important like any other employees in a newspaper. Moreover, his or her work is pivotal in the field of journalism. Needless to say, journalism is all about the production, distribution, consumption of events. Let's understand the various definitions of reporters. Merriam-Webster defines a reporter a person employed by a newspaper, magazine, or television company to gather and report news, while Collins defines a reporter is someone who writes news articles for the broadcast news reports. A reporter is a kind of journalist who generally collects news and views from the audience. A reporter is assigned to investigate, write, and disseminate information to the audience. He or she is associated in collecting various types of information: politics, economic, crime, sports, technology, lifestyle, and entertainment, which becomes integral part of a newspaper contents. The presence of a reporter is there in all forms of journalism, be it print, electronic, or digital. Sometimes, a reporter works in the convergent way of journalism. A reporter works in a newspaper, magazine, or television or portal news agency. The media house could be local, national, or international. These particular dimensions also define the qualities and performance of a reporter. While discussing and assessing the qualities of a reporter in the ecology of news in print journalism, it is essential to revisit the definition of news consumption and news values. There are popular quotes on the news which can be cited. John B. Bogart says, "It is not the news when a dog bites a man, rather it is vice versa. When a man bites a dog, it is called news." Scott Loader asserts, "Well, news is anything that is interesting, that relates to what's happening in the world, what's happening in areas of culture that would of interest to your audience." To sum up, news could be local, national, or international. Local news is all about the convergence of local events and dissemination of the same to the public. With a rise in literacy level, local audiences are on the rise. For the reporting of national news, a reporter should aware of national affairs and should possess certain qualities. Suppose a person is reporting for the national dailies like the Times of India, Indian Express, or Union Express. He or she is equipped with to understand the national news of very importance, of utmost importance. Similarly, suppose a reporter is working for international news dailies like the Washington Post or the Guardian. He or she is equipped to understand and very nuanced to understand the news from international perspective. Understanding the types of news, the hard and soft news is an essential qualities of reporter. Now let's discuss hard and soft news. Hard news and soft news. A reporter should be nuanced to understand what is hard news and what is soft news. We are discussing what is a hard news, what is a soft news. There is a proper demarcation why a hard news is different from a soft news. Hard news denotes the coverage of events which are prominent and timely. The news items on national and international issues, politics, market, and public policies fall to this category. On the contrary, soft news is light in presenting the facts and events. The coverage on lifestyle, film, sports, and such aspects fall to the category of soft news. Generally, such news entertains the readers. In this context, the knowledge of hard and soft news is very much required on the part of a reporter while reporting for his or her newspaper. Knowing the difference between hard and soft news helps a reporter to develop a sense how news needs to be covered. This largely reflects his or her reporting skills pertaining to the nature of reporting. So far as the news consumption is concerned, it is not standalone entity. News consumption is taken into consideration while a reporter is assigned to collect and disseminate a variety of information to the public. The dimensions like public sphere, news making, and social and cultural cohesion is prioritized in newspaper organizations. Sometimes a reporter is briefed about these factors which have bearings on running a newspaper. Even though the readers in newspaper are declining, people regularly consume plenty of time spending on newspapers. Newspapers are treated as part of literary culture and a larger sphere of defining nationality. A good reporter always keeps the requirement patterns of news consumption while reporting for his newspaper. So this is a time to understand what could be the essential qualities of a news reporter who are working in a newspaper setup. This is one of his basic qualities of a newspaper reporter. News values can be connected to the dissemination of news gathering and processing. So now here we can talk of how various media persons and philosophers and communication scholars have defined the various qualities of reporter. Let's discuss one by one. John Galtung and Mary Holmboe-Ruge define news values as criteria that influence the selection and presentation of events as published news. In other words, such news values justify the selection of news pieces and why those pieces are newsworthy. Let's now try to collect certain instances of news reporting from uh, various headlines from prominent English news dailies. Future actions to stimulate economy will depend on COVID crisis pans out from the Times of India. Railways to use 50% of converted isolation coaches to operate Shramik special trains from the Union Express. Honor had to return in September after COVID-19 break, The Hindu. So these are the prominent coverage, those were gained when India was battling with severity of COVID-19. Similarly, the news on cyclone Amphan can be discussed here. Cyclone Amphan hit the West Bengal and Odisha on May 20, 2020. The next day, that is May 21st, 2020, the English dailies covered the cyclone carrying the following headlines. Amphan batters Bengal, Odisha. From Pioneer, Merciless and Monstrous. From the Telegraph, Amphan batters Bengal, Odisha as 6.5 lakh evacuated and 6 dead. From Deccan Chronicle. These are the major headlines. Those were reflected when Amphan hit both the states, the West Bengal and Odisha.